On the beautiful campus of Rochester Christian University and inside of Garth Pleasant Arena, this is Warriors basketball on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Stephen McDonald here saying hello everyone and welcome to our broadcast as the Rochester Christian Warriors host the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. Both teams come into this one looking for a win as the Blue Devils come into town just 2-10 on the year, 0-5 to start out conference play. Meanwhile, the Warriors 2-8 on the 2024-25 season, 1-3 in conference play. Their lone conference win came the last time we were here against the Lourdes Gray Wolves. As these two teams will get us started here on a Saturday afternoon as the Warriors host the Blue Devils for a men's and women's basketball doubleheader. We've got tip-off coming your way next on the RC Sports Network.
What I've learned the most from golf is to have integrity in everything you say and do.
One of the biggest lessons of that sports impacts my daily life is discipline.
Be a champion of character, it just means to realize first that you're a part of something that's bigger than yourself.
Being a part of NAIA is something that I'm going to keep with me forever because it's not only made me a better athlete, but it's made me a better person.
The NAIA really just cares about their student athletes and just the experience in general at the school, and I think that that's really important.
The NAIA stands for, has great core values. One that's most important to me is servant leadership. Being able to serve your community is a huge reason why I chose the NAIA.
I am a champion of character.
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 Welcome back on the RC Sports Network pregame show. Lawrence Tech in town to do battle with the Rochester Christian Warriors. Blue Devils 2-10 on the year, Warriors 2-8. Warriors do have a win though in conference play. Lawrence Tech not yet at 0-5 in the conference standings. Again, both these teams playing a doubleheader this afternoon. Women getting us started in just a couple of minutes. Top of the hour here, 1 o'clock Eastern. The men's game will take place just about 30 minutes after this one wraps up, we'll have both those games here for you as our afternoon coverage rolls on. Take a look a little bit deeper at both these teams as we're just about 2 minutes away from jumping this one up. Blue Devils come in just about 63 points per game on the year, shooting it just a touch under 37% from the floor. Both teams battling some turnover problems this season. Blue Devils turn it over roughly 18 times per contest to the Warriors 20 times per game. So you'd have to imagine that whichever team can win the turnover battle this afternoon will have a pretty good shot of winning the basketball game. We'll step aside one final time. Tip-off coming your way on the RC Sports Network.
What I've learned the most from golf is to have integrity in everything you say and do.
One of the biggest lessons of that sports impacts my daily life is discipline.
Be a champion of character. It just means to realize first that you're a part of something that's bigger than yourself.
Being a part of NAIA is something that I'm going to keep with me forever because it's not only made me a better athlete, but it's made me a better person.
The NAIA really just cares about their student athletes and just the experience in general at the school, and I think that's really important.
The NAIA stands for, has great core values. One that's most important to me is servant leadership. Being able to serve your community is a huge reason why I chose the NAIA.
I am a champion of character.
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 Between the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils and your Rochester Christian University Warriors. The Wolver Hoosiering Athletic Conference and the NAIA are committed to maintaining the true spirit of competition in athletics. As such, please do your part by showing respect to every spectator, athlete, coach, and official involved in today's contest. At this time, we ask that you please stand. Gentlemen, remove your hats for our pregame prayer. Father in heaven, we ask your blessing on the game we are about to play. Give each one of us the courage to play this game in a manner by which our words and our actions are pleasing to you. Let us enter into this competition in a spirit of sportsmanship with respect for the members of the opposing team. We ask you, Father, to bless each one of us, especially the coaches, officials, parents, and players. Keep us under the protection of your Son, Jesus Christ, and help us be aware of his presence with us in this game today. Amen. Please remain standing for the play of our national anthem. 5, Maddox Locke. Number 13, Reese Williams. Number 22, Maggie Long. And number 23, Liv Seilecki. Your head coach, Miss Page, her assistants, Avery Turner and Julia Huey. And now, let's meet the starters for your Rochester Christian University Warriors. A 5'8" freshman guard, number 5, Simone Andrews. A 5'6" sophomore guard, number 10, Shahad Bakar. A 6'1" sophomore forward, number 11, J.C. Summers. A 5'7" junior guard, number 15, Ashley Lou. And rounding out your lineup, she's a 6' junior forward, number 34, Melanie Lowe. Your assistant coaches, Lauren Williams, Stephen, Jim Rock, assistant manager, Aaliyah Ogienko, head coach, Garrett Ogienko.
Well, there you have it. That is the word from public address announcer Mark Stowers here inside the arena. Let's get to the starting lineups for both teams here quickly, starting with the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. Sierra Robinson, Maddox Locke, Reese Williams, and Maggie Long are the guards. The forward is Liv Sidlecki, number 23, in the blue here this afternoon. And we are underway from inside of Garth Pleasant Arena. Warriors will start out with it first, and they'll line up like this for head coach Jared Ocampo. Simone Andrews, Shahad Bakar, the guards, as the Warriors knock one down to begin the game. J.C. Summers, Ashley Loon, and Melanie Moore will round things out in the starting 5. And they get a steal here. Up the floor goes to Summers, who finishes on the lay-in. And just like that, 30 seconds in, the Warriors go up by 4, and they'll pick up some full court pressure. Baskets by Andrews and Summers to get us going. Swing it this side. Baseline jumper catches air by Sidlecki. And Simone Andrews knocks another one down. And just like that, all of a sudden, Warriors have come out hot out of the gate. They come away with the basketball once more into the hands of Ashley Loon. Loon, one of those floor spacers for the Warriors this season. They get it off to Summers. She'll stop. Fire does not go. Offensive rebound. Moore backs her way in, and it was halfway down, and then it popped out. A hectic start to our basketball game. Summers got a hand on it. Bakar gets it up the floor to her. Runway is clear for 2. And this game has started out about as well as you could have hoped if you're Coach Ocampo. More of the steal. Shahad Bakar misses on the lay-in. Went straight up with it, but just a little too much on at that time. Moore gets back on defense to contest the shot, but draws the foul. That'll be the first on Moore. The first foul of our contest comes with 7:50 to go in the first quarter. And how about this? The Warriors have 4 made baskets so far, and Lawrence Tech has 3 turnovers. Free throw, the first one does not go, second one does, and that's the first scratch for the Blue Devils in this contest. Mentioned in our pregame coverage, both these teams have struggled with turnovers this season, as that has played a factor here in the first few minutes for the Blue Devils, resulting in 4 points off turnovers for the Warriors. They have 8 to shoot, and knocking this ball away and taking it was Bailey Stevens, who's come in. She'll skip it far corner. 3 is up off the heel as Loon comes down with the rebound. They were able to find Reese Williams wide open in that far corner. She couldn't make the Warriors pay. Bakar will back it out, still 15 on the possession. Summers backs in, spirals, comes up short, got her own miss. Hands it off to Shahad Bakar, who twists. That one's too strong. Another offensive rebound, and third time's the charm for JC Summers. She just kept tracking the basketball, and it paid off as she gets the deuce. That gives her 6 and a pair of rebounds, and it's 10-1 Warriors. Cycle it into the corner. Shahad Bakar picks it off. A race to the rim. She'll win it and score it. My goodness, the Warriors playing an end-to-end game right now. It's 12-1. Summers nearly got a hand on that basketball. Kick it to the corner for 3. That comes up well short into the hands of Simone Andrews, who tries to go coast to coast. She'll gallop in and fill it. A trio of subs getting ready to come in for the Blue Devils. They trail it by 13 here in the first. There's 5:40 to go in the quarter. Another 3 not going to go for Lawrence Tech. Another rebound comes the direction of Ashley Loon. Now she tries to go coast to coast with it. Turns back at the elbow. Shahad Bakar got to that loose basketball, doesn't connect on the lay-in try. That feed was looking for Melanie Moore, threw it up over her head, and Bakar just kind of walked the baseline and went and got it. 3 is up, hops off the rim. Couple Warriors converged on the rebound, but it'll go to Summers. She'll jog it into the front court, steps back, now attacks, goes all the way in and draws the foul. Warriors shooting at just under 54% to begin this one. Lawrence Tech 0 for 6 with 4 turnovers, resulting in 6 points off turnovers by the Warriors as they are pushing it in transition. That's something that we saw them have success against Lourdes last time we were here before Thanksgiving break. They had success really forcing the issue in transition, and that is how they've come out here this afternoon. Of course, when you can get those live ball turnovers like they've been getting, it is a lot easier to get out in transition, and they've been filling it up in transition. Simone Andrews, 6 points, 2 rebounds. JC Summers has 6 and 3 rebounds, while Shahad Bakar 2 points on 1 of 4 shooting so far, as the Warriors lead it 14-1. The one for Lawrence Tech was a Reese Williams free throw. She knocked down the second of her 2 tries. Warriors also have the heavy edge in rebounding, mainly due to the 0 for 6 start to the game by Lawrence Tech. Warriors 9 rebounds to the Blue Devils 3. Rochester Christian also with 3 offensive rebounds. Had a couple on that one sequence as they were able to get the lay-in by JC Summers on their 3rd look at the rim. Summers, as we make our way back out of the timeout, will be the one to shoot free throws. Summers' first free throw is good. She's out there with Andrews, Loon, Lockey, and Tambry Williams. So a couple subs for the Warriors coming out of that timeout as the second free throw does not go. And the Blue Devils come away with it on the other side for Lawrence Tech. They have Lachelle Moreland-Jones, Haupert, Linden, Jacobs, and Ray on the floor. Whistle and a foul over on the far side right in front of the Warriors bench. Stops the clock with 4:45 to go here in the first. They'll get Williams for her first, team second. The other foul went to the other Warriors big, Melanie Moore. Got out of a trap there, kicked it this way for Abby Ray. She'll go up for two. Almost got the rebound, did Kate Jacobs. The Warriors able to come away with it. That pass intercepted. Looking up the floor for Lockey. In transition, Haupert goes up off glass for two. First field goal of the day goes to Ella Haupert. Summers left alone for three. Cannot make them pay. Offensive rebound, Lockey sends it outside. Loon spots up for three. Yes! Cannot leave Loon that wide open. Another steal, this time by Lockey. Summers, couple hops off the rim, and it's down. But going back to Loon, averages just under 7 points per game on the year, shooting at 37% from three. That's not the player, if you're the Blue Devils, that you want to leave open from three, as driving and scoring. That's Liv Linden, counted in a foul. Foul goes against Summers, her first, team's third. A massive, check that, looked like Lawrence Tech was going to make some substitutions. Instead, they'll just go over and have a quick chat with their head coach. And that'll leave Linden all alone at the free throw line. Linden knocks down the free one. But it's still a hefty lead for the Warriors, 20-6 with 3.5 to go in the quarter. Loon all day to shoot, spins it out. Backing it out now is Linden after she had that three-point play just a second ago. Step back three, rips the net. Count it for Kate Jacobs. Lawrence Tech came into this one shooting at just about 29% from three-point range as Simone Andrews knocks down the two. Looks like Mila Alls has checked in for the Warriors as J.C. Summers picked up her first foul just a few minutes ago. Driving, getting all the way in was Moreland Jones. Can't get the underhand flip to go, but got bumped and fouled on the way in. That'll be the first on Lockey. Williams will check out. Melanie Moore comes back in. Lachelle Moreland-Jones goes to the free throw line. A freshman out of Dearborn comes in averaging 6 points per game in 12 minutes per contest. First free throw off the heel. Still 2:26 to go in our opening quarter, as it's been all Warriors so far. At one point led 14-1 at the start, now 22-9, and make it 22-10 as Moreland Jones sinks the second. Loon's going to go on a drive, tried to drop it off baseline to Mila Alls, but putting their heel on the line and out of bounds goes Lawrence Tech. So the Warriors catch a bit of a break there. It'll be a baseline inbound by Loon. She'll toss it in for Alls. Loon Corner three is through. Second three of the quarter as Moore steps in front of this pass, kicks it outside. Loon, you betcha! Back to back for Ashley Loon. And when she can get those feet set like she had done on those 2 threes, she is absolutely lethal from the outside. Linden's going to drive against Alls. Alls gets called for the bump. That'll be just the first on Alls. Several Warriors picking up a foul here in the first. Moore, Williams, Alls, Lockey, and Summers each picking up 1. That puts Linden at the line. As the first one does not go, took a couple hops off the rim. 1:39 to go in our first quarter. 28-10 Warriors, as they've shot at 60% to begin this one. And the second free throw does fall. Simone Andrews gets it into the front court, gives off to Loon, who gets it right back from her. Going in, throws a shot up, no. Offensive rebound, Moore can't get the second shot to go. Rebound came away to Reese Williams. Just above the free throw line for Sidlecki, kicks it outside for Linden. Draws a double team with 15 to shoot. Driving goes Abby Ray. She gets trapped, gets knocked down to the ground. No call as they back it out with 5 to shoot. 1 minute to go in the quarter. Lockey locking her up to Ray. And that's a shot clock violation forced by the Warriors. Excellent defense in that possession, especially there late in the possession by the freshman Lockey. Warriors with it. About 45 seconds to go in the quarter as this ball is tipped out of bounds by Lachelle Moreland-Jones. Warriors shooting at 54% here in the first. 3 out of 10 is Lawrence Tech. As this pass gets floated in to Melanie Moore. Doesn't get the shot to fall. Rebound gets tapped out to Lockey, who turns it over. Tried an entry pass looking for Moore. And looking in the near side corner as this ball is turned over to Loon. They had Reese Williams all alone in this near side left corner. She was calling for it, but did not get it. And now with 15 seconds to go in the first, shot clock is off. Warriors by 17. Basketball in the hands of Liv Linden. Linden gives it up to Williams. Williams for 3, too strong that time. The putback goes just before the quarter buzzer by Liv Sidlecki. And that will bring us to an end of our first quarter that was largely controlled by the Rochester Christian Warriors. They'll take the lead into the second quarter, 28-13. We'll step aside here quickly, come back with some first quarter stats on the other side on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Warriors lead it after one, 28-13. They have a couple players already with 9, JC Summers and Ashley Loon, combining for 18 points and 5 rebounds in the first 10 minutes of play. Simone Andrews, not too far behind them, has 8 points and a pair of rebounds. On the other side for Lawrence Tech, Liv Linden has 4, Kate Jacobs with 3. And it was the turnovers in that first quarter by Lawrence Tech. They had 9 of them in the first quarter, led to 14 points off turnovers for Rochester Christian, as we're just about ready to begin our second quarter. Warriors not backing down defensively. They come all the way out to half court to pressure the ball. Kick it this way for Moreland Jones. Backing in, turning, and scooping went Reese Williams. Demi Rodriguez has come in. She has the basketball. Up the floor it goes to Moore, who fills it up. Now this pass taken away by Shahad Bakar. Swing it back outside. Rodriguez wants a 3. Does not catch iron. Rebound to Moreland Jones. Driving went Lachelle Moreland Jones. And a whistle on Rochester Christian. Maggie Long comes back in for Lawrence Tech. Sierra Robinson triggered on the inbound. She has it now working against Summers. Goes topside for Maggie Long. Into the corner for Ray, left alone. Does not get it to go. Battle for the rebound is won by Moore. Shahad Bakar able to hang on to the basketball. She'll go all the way in. Float it this way. Extra pass finds Rodriguez, who traveled with it on the drive. 8:47 to go in the first half. 30-13 Warriors, as they've shot at 54% to begin this one, including 3 of 5 from three-point range. Ray's going to go all the way in on Summers. Underhand flip shot does not go. Tapped out of bounds, and it looks like we'll stay at this end. Maddox Locke comes back in. Looks like Abby Ray will sit. Robinson tosses in on the inbound. Going in is Moreland Jones. Can't hit the layup, but followed her own miss. Far side of the floor it goes, stepping into a 3 and knocking it down was Maggie Long. First basket for Long. Summers goes up, passes to Moore. Outside to the corner it goes for Andrews. And it looks like they say she stepped on the corner. Give it back the Blue Devils' way with 8:10 to go in the quarter. 30-16 Warriors. After they started out the game, if you're just joining us on the RC Sports Network, Warriors started out 14-1 in this one as Rodriguez stole it at half court and lays it in at the other end. And that has been a snapshot of the first half for both these teams, as Moore tipped it, stolen again by Rodriguez, as she finds Shahad Bakar, a 3-on-2 developing the other way, and this pass deflected out of bounds and will stay here. "16 points off turnovers by the Warriors, 11 turnovers for the Blue Devils, as Moore powers her way in, turns to the rim, and scores. Moore comes into this one averaging just about 10 points and 7 rebounds per game. So far has 4 and 4 in this one. Bakar goes in, turns back, puts up the shot. No, that looked like it was partially blocked, and then held in beautifully along the baseline by Kate Jacobs. Into the corner it goes for Long. Back outside for Robinson for 3. And now a tie-up and a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Warriors, as Tambry Williams will come in for Moore.
Also checking in number 15, Ashley Loon.
Ashley Loon will come in as well, replacing Simone Andrews. So it's Loon, Bakar, Rodriguez, Williams, and Summers, the 5 on the floor for the Warriors. Rodriguez gets hit with her first, team second of our second quarter. Going all the way into the baseline and turning it over. That was Bailey Stevens. Stevens more of a regular in the Blue Devils rotation this year after appearing in just 5 games a year ago. Loon goes back to the logo for Shahad Bakar. Far corner for Rodriguez, who splashes it home. Give the assist to Shahad Bakar. Warriors 4 out of 6 from 3-point range in this first half. As Loon has knocked down a couple, Rodriguez gets the latest one.
Number 25,
Savannah Laurenti will check in for J.C. Summers. Laurenti tosses in for Shahad Bakar. Get it right back to Rodriguez. This time she'll charge in. Tried to put her head down, get to the rim. Throws up the shot, no. 5:40 to go in the first half. 37-16 Warriors. Warriors looking for their second win in conference play. Their last came in the last time we were here against Lords. Going all the way in and missing point blank was Moreland Jones. Another point blank miss, this time by Maddox Locke. And off and running are the Warriors once more. Loon, extra pass to Laurenti, picks up the dribble and goes back for Shahad Bakar. Tried to drop it off for Rodriguez. And looks like possibly a 3-second call there on Rochester Christian. Gets it back to the Blue Devils, who have shot it just 23% in this first half and turned it over 12 times. Thought about the 3 did Linden. Instead, she'll go in and back it out for Bailey Stevens. 10 to shoot for the Blue Devils. Gets by Laurenti, kicks it outside, looking for Locke, who lost the handle out of bounds, and will stay here with 4 to shoot.
checking in for the Blue Devils, number 44, Abby Ray. Also checking in number 3, Ella Puppet. And we've got a media
Timeout on the floor. It's a media timeout with 4:39 to go in the first half. Warriors 37 and the Blue Devils 16 will step aside from Garth Pleasant Arena on the Rochester Christian Sports Network.
The value of champions character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
Welcome back on the RC Sports Network. Stephen McDonald here with you inside of Garth Pleasant Arena. Warriors lead it 37-16. They've shot it 53% here in the first half, 4 out of 6 from three-point range. They've been led so far. J.C. Summers and Ashley Loon each have 9. Simone Andrews just behind them with 8. while Demi Rodriguez 5 points and a couple of rebounds. On the other side, Liv Linden leads Lawrence Tech with 4. Kate Jacobs and Maggie Long each with 3 to lead the Blue Devils, who will have it on a baseline inbound with 4 to shoot as we make our way out of the timeout. Going down, this ball is tapped out of bounds on the far sideline with 1 to shoot. So we'll see what the Blue Devils can do here with 1 second on the shot clock, 4:36 to go in the half. They'll toss in, Linden turns, and it almost went down. Would not have counted even if it had gone. "21 points off turnovers for the Warriors here this half." Laurenti goes to the elbow for Williams. Toss it this way into the corner for Shahad Bakar. Her pass intended for Williams gets turned over, and then Williams, trying to get back on defense, knocks down Abby Ray. That'll be the second on Williams. Shahad Bakar will check out for Simone Andrews.
Checking in for the Warriors, number 5, Simone Andrews.
Before taking a seat, Coach Ocampo has a quick word with Shahad Bakar. Ella Hoppert had it in the corner, and a whistle and a foul goes against Loon. Williams will check out for Melanie Moore. Williams sits down with a couple fouls. Sierra Robinson comes all the way back out to the logo. Linden has it against Simone Andrews. Sierra Robinson was calling for a pick, does not get one against the bigger Savannah Laurenti. 3 to shoot for the Blue Devils, toss it into the corner, have to put it up, and they caught iron with Ella Hopper. Rebound comes down to Laurenti. Loon looked at the 3 and said she'll walk it baseline. Back outside for Andrews, who has 8. She'll float in the paint, and it was halfway down before it ran back out. Would have put Simone Andrews in double figures and would have put her as the leading scorer if she had knocked it down. Instead, Robinson sends it this way for Hoppert, and the 2 does go. 3 minutes to go in the half. Andrews on the drive. A reach in and a foul against the Blue Devils. That'll be a foul on Liv Linden, her first. Jordan Peterson comes in, along with Chloe Sakalis. Inside of 3 minutes to go in the half. Andrews going to try one more time. Through a couple defenders, got the hook shot off. Does not get it to fall. That pass tipped and out of bounds by Moore. They were trying to go inside in the direction of Kate Jacobs. Jacobs only attempted 1 shot so far in this one. She knocked it down. It was a 3. Actually, check that. It was a lay-in and 1. Robinson floats it this way. Extra pass into the corner for Hoppert, who fills it up. Hoppert, a sophomore out of Southwood High School in Indiana, knocks down the corner 3, 37-21 here late stages of our first half. Loon, long 3 on the way, banks it home. Fourth 3 of our first half for Ashley Loon. She is 4 out of 5 with 12 points. A whistle and a foul goes out near midcourt against Sakalis. And that was very close. Looked like Lawrence Tech nearly putting that foot on the midcourt line, so nearly could have been an over and back call there, but they whistled the foul first. First free throw falls for Sierra Robinson. .157 to go in the first half. Robinson knocks down both free throws, and that's been a positive for the Blue Devils here in this first half. 6 out of 9 at the free throw line, but again, 13 turnovers, resulting in 21 points off of turnovers by the Warriors, as their lead is 40-23. Float this pass all the way in, looking for Melanie Moore, and they threw it away on the baseline. A timeout will be called by the Blue Devils with 1:41 remaining in the first half. Warriors lead it by 17. We'll step aside quickly on the RC Sports Network. After the big first quarter by the Warriors, they led after one, 28-13. Things have certainly evened out here in the second. Warriors 12-10 here in the second, as the Warriors open the gates early, 14-1, and have not looked back since. Haupert thought about the three, instead dumps it inside. Working her way through the paint was Sidlecki. Reese Williams gets the deuce. Lawrence Tech inching ever closer, but the Warriors doing a good job of keeping them at a bit of a distance. Sierra Robinson hit with the foul. That's her first, team second of this second quarter. 1:05 to go in the quarter. Lawrence Tech is in the bonus as Sakalis goes into the near side corner looking for Loon, as cutting baseline was Peterson. Excellent job by Moore to turn and locate her driving baseline, and Jordan Peterson for two. Then Peterson got a hand on it, trying to track it down far corner. Her bench cheering her on as Robinson turns back against Simone Andrews, posted up down low, trying to pivot against Moore, and that's a good job on the reverse lay-in. Shot clock is off for the final 16 seconds of our first half, in which the Warriors lead 42-27. Andrews has it. Turns back against Robinson, goes in, floats, does not go. Rebound comes down, Sidlecki has to put up a shot and cannot do it before the clock expires. And that is how the first half will end, with the Warriors leading at 42-27. Things certainly evened up there in the second quarter, as it was a tie, 14-14 in the second, but the Warriors used a 28-13 first quarter to take the lead into the break, 42-27. A couple of stats before we send you to the half. Ashley Loon, a game-high 12 so far on 4 of 5 shooting from the outside. J.C. Summers, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. And Simone Andrews, 8 points and a pair of rebounds. On the other side for the Blue Devils, Ella Haupert has a team-high 7. Liv Linden and Liv Sidlecki each with 4. And again, it's the 21 points off turnovers by the Warriors in that first 20 minutes of play that have been a huge factor in this first half. But we will step aside with the second half. On the other side, Warriors leading it at the break, 42-27 on your home for Warriors basketball. Still at the half inside of Garth Pleasant Arena between the Rochester Christian Warriors and the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. Warriors lead it after the first 20 minutes of play, 42-27. As you take a look there on your screen, the stats from that first 20 minutes of play. And for Lawrence Tech in that first half, two of their better scorers in the lineup, Reese Williams and Maggie Long, two of their better three-point shooters even, held relatively in check in that first half by the Warriors, including just a combined 1 of 5 from three-point range. Williams coming into this one had been shooting it just about 36% from three. In fact, had a team best 26 made threes on the year. She went 0 of 3 from beyond the arc in that first half of play. Just 3 points to speak of on 1 of 5 shooting for Reese Williams. And as for Maggie Long, not much better. 3 points on 1 of 3 overall, 1 out of 2 from the outside. So if the Blue Devils want to make their way back into this ball game, get Reese Williams and Maggie Long getting going offensively and limit the turnovers in the next 20 minutes. We're just about 2 minutes away from the second half getting going between the Warriors and the Blue Devils. Warriors looking for their second win on the conference slate. Meanwhile, Lawrence Tech, if they can make their way back into this ball game, would pick up their first win in 6 tries on the conference schedule. But we've got 20 minutes left from Garth Pleasant Arena on the RC Sports Network. Second half coming up next. Second half just about set to get going between the Warriors and the Blue Devils of Lawrence Tech. 42-27 was our score at the break. Warriors were led in that first half by Ashley Loon, 12 points on 4 of 5 shooting. All of her attempts came from three-point range, as the Warriors shot at 50% in that first half for a team that shot at below 40% as a team on the season. Also shot at 62% from three. They shoot at only about 27% from three on the year, as this ball tipped out of bounds along the baseline, and the second half is a go. Loon tosses in for Shahad Bakar. She'll work against Robinson, gives it off to Summers, up fake, goes all the way baseline, turns back, shot doesn't go, offensive rebound falls right into the lap of Melanie Moore, and that's an easy lay-in for two. At the other end, lay-in good. Couple lay-ins for both sides to begin our third quarter. Andrews steps back, picks up the dribble, finds Summers, who goes off the window. Summers now in double figures, has 11 and 4 rebounds as Robinson goes just inside the free throw line, and the jumper from in tight goes for Liv Sedlecki. And now both teams really playing a baseline to baseline game here in the third. A line drive is through by Reese Williams. And that's what we said just a moment ago before our third quarter began. If you're the Blue Devils, have to see Reese Williams get it going from the outside. She gets one to fall there. And that's her first three of the day. Now 8 points for her on 3 of 7 shooting. The lead gets trimmed down to 12. It's 46-34. We have a quick timeout called on the floor. With 8:24 to go in the third, while we have a moment, take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Warriors. They'll head back out on the road on this coming Wednesday the 18th. They'll be at Cleary. They'll come back 10 days later on the 28th against St. Francis, and then round out 2024 on New Year's Eve, 4 p.m. Eastern against Bethel, Indiana. We'll have both those games for you here on the RC Sports Network. The game against St. Francis on the 28th will get going at 1 p.m. Eastern. The game on New Year's Eve, a 4 p.m. Eastern tip-off for that one. That is a look at the upcoming schedule as we make our way towards the new year. Ashley Loon still has a game-high 12. J.C. Summers knocked down a shot just a moment ago, has 11, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. Reese Williams hit her first 3 of the day before that timeout, now has 8 points, a rebound, and 2 assists. It was 28-13 after the first quarter in favor of the Warriors. The second quarter was a draw at 14 aside, as Shahad Bakar sends it far side of the floor for Andrews as we make our way out of the timeout. 7 to shoot for the Warriors. Loon has to get a shot off with 2 to shoot. Instead, she falls down, and that'll be a shot clock violation. Coach Ocampo wanted a tie up there just before the shot clock sounded. Had he gotten it, it actually would have been Warriors basketball in that situation. Instead, they'll get it to Williams for 3 and rings it in. Reese Williams back-to-back threes. It's 46-37. Bakar trying to answer back. Give me that. That's an excellent answer from Shahad Bakar. Back-to-back threes by Reese Williams had cut the deficit. Bakar answers with one of her own. Now a 2-on-2 the other way. Scoop and a score for Simone Andrews. That's more points off of turnovers in transition for the Warriors. And they get their lead pushed back out once more to 51-37. And another timeout called by the Blue Devils. 7:19 to go here in the third. take a look at the upcoming schedule after this one for the Blue Devils. They'll stay out on the road on Wednesday the 18th. They'll go to Madonna. Then they'll head on January 4th, so they'll have quite a while off in between games. But as they start the new year on January 4th, they'll go to Indiana University South Bend and then come back home on January 8th to take on Cornerstone as they get back into conference play with Cornerstone and Aquinas. That is a look at the Blue Devils' upcoming schedule. Also, while we have this opportunity, I'd like to remind you that the men's game between the Warriors and Blue Devils will tip off just about a half hour after this one concludes. Warriors men 6-3 so far on the year, but just 1-3 in conference play. Lawrence Tech, meanwhile, 5-5. They're 4-1 in conference play, and they've won each of their last 4 contests. So the Warriors will be facing a red-hot Lawrence Tech squad. But the Warriors, as we've highlighted throughout this season so far, have been very tough to beat at home since the start of last year. 18-4 in that span for Rochester Christian. Warriors come up with another steal. Ashley Loon works it over to Simone Andrews. Andrews drives, draws the switch onto Robinson, dump it inside for Moore, who lays it in. 17th turnover by Lawrence Tech, and we opened our broadcast saying whoever won the turnover battle today was likely going to win the basketball game, as both these teams came in struggling in the turnover department this season. Whistle and a foul is going to go on Moore there. That's her second. "27 points off turnovers now for the Warriors. They're also +5 in rebounding today. Driving goes Hopper, kicks it out for a 3. That's just short. Tie up for the rebound as Summers got in there. She was able to tie it up with Maddox Locke off the miss by Bailey Stevens. So it's Andrews, Bakar, Summers, Loon, and Moore. On the other side, as Loon thought about the 3, it's Hopper, Locke, Williams, Stevens, and Jacobs. Try to post it up for Jacobs, working her way in on Moore. Turns, does not go, but she'll draw the 3rd foul on Moore.
Number 34, Melanie Moore, her 3rd.
And quickly hopping up off the bench is Tambry Williams, who will come in for Moore.
In for the Warriors, number 33, Tambry Williams.
53-37, middle stages of our 3rd quarter. There's 5:42 to go in the 3rd. Jacobs at the free throw line, and Jacobs misses on the 1st. And she can't get either to fall. That rebound got slapped off the backboard by Williams. On the charge, stopping shooting off the heel was Shahad Bakar. Rebound comes down to Ray. Offensive rebound put back up, came up short, had J.C. Summers all over her backside. Throw the shot up, spin it around and off. Summers away with the rebound. Summers head down trying to go coast to coast. couldn't get it to spin through. And looks like we're going to get an offensive foul. That'll be the first on Abby Ray. Emily Lockey comes in for Bakar. Lockey, couple rebounds and 2 assists going back to that first half for the Warriors. Loon sends it over to Lockey. She'll bounce pass in for Tambry Williams, going to work against Kate Jacobs. 12 to shoot for the Warriors as Summers, just above the free throw line, does not go. Lockey skies in for the rebound and pulls it down. Now Andrews on the drive, goes high off glass, no. And then a very late whistle and a foul as both players went down to the floor. Andrews went down, and they get Bailey Stevens with the foul. Warriors have only shot 2 free throws so far in this one. They're 1 out of 2. As Andrews sinks the first. Their lone free throws prior to that came from J.C. Summers, as Andrews makes good on both. Float it to Williams, goes deep inside, looking for Jacobs, who can't hit. Second try does go. And Jacobs is another player that, if you're Lawrence Tech, you'd like to see get going a bit. Came in about 8 points per game on the year. With that basket now has 5. Her pass was tipped and stolen. Lockey tried to drop it off looking for Tambry Williams. That splits her hands. And now a 3-on-1 the other way as the lay-in runs in. Maddox Locke in transition. Now Williams turns and scores. And this has been, since the opening tip, a very up and down game from both teams. Really doing well, going baseline to baseline. That hook shot doesn't go. Williams the rebound, outlet to Andrews. Andrews puts her head down, scoops, does not go. Williams was in pursuit of the rebound. And they'll get Williams for the foul.
Checking in for the Blue Devils, number 0, Lachelle Moreland-Jones, number 23, Liz Steinlecker. In for the Warriors, number 22, Demi Rodriguez.
Demi Rodriguez comes in for the Warriors. Lachelle Moreland-Jones and Liv Sidlecki come in for the Blue Devils. Here's Linden above the free throw line for Sidlecki. Now Williams. 15 to shoot for Linden. Backs up, crossover dribble, into the corner it goes. 3 is on the way, too strong. A rebound for Williams. Now Rodriguez trying to put her foot on the gas, spin it home. Counted on a foul for Demi Rodriguez.
Basket count foul on number 0. Lachelle Moreland-Jones for first.
That'll be the first on Lachelle Moreland-Jones. That'll put Rodriguez at the free throw line, and she knocks it down to complete the 3-point play. Warriors come into this one averaging 65 points per game on the year. They could easily hit that mark before we hit the end of the third quarter. 3 is up and 2 strong, and it'll roll out on the near side right corner. 2:07 to go in the third. Warriors 60 and Blue Devils 41. Stephen McDonald here with you on the RC Sports Network. Going baseline and losing the handle was Sidlecki. Up the floor for Lockey. Extra pass goes to Rodriguez, who comes in. Got a little too deep that time, tried to underhand flip, and it banged off the underside of the rim. Now Linden will slow it down. She's got 4 points and 3 assists so far today. Long backs it out with 8 to shoot. Goes right back for Linden. Her skip pass was deflected out of play with 4 to shoot. And 1:30 to go in the third. Blue Devils very close to turnover number 19 there just a second ago as they work it inside, and a whistle before that lay-in by Liv Sidlecki. J.C. Summers gets called for the grab and foul after that inbound feed. So with that foul, reset the shot clock to 20. Lawrence Tech had only 4 seconds to shoot prior to that foul on J.C. Summers. That'll be her second. So again, reset it to 20. Inbound comes out to Moreland Jones. She'll turn her way in, and a tie-up will keep it here. J.C. Summers came in, tried to rip that basketball away. So there's 17 seconds to shoot on that partial reset. Stepping back with it is Long. Goes straight away for Linden. Extra pass. 3 is on the way. Splash. Reese Williams again for 3. She has come alive here in the third from the outside, but her team's still in a hole. Demi Rodriguez going to go baseline. Lockey, extra pass finds Mila Alls, who got stuck at the free throw line and stripped. On the run is Maggie Long. Lay in good, and 1 for Sidlecki. Clock stops with 46 seconds to go in the third. That'll be the second on Demi Rodriguez, the junior out of Dearborn. That'll put Sidlecki at the free throw line for 1. And it does fall. Needed some help from the rim there, but got it to go down. 13-point game. 41 seconds to go in the quarter. Rodriguez will throw in from the baseline. Out high for Summers. Summers 11.6 rebounds so far in this one. Gives off to Andrews. Andrews with 12 points. Was hunting for 14 on that lay-in try. Doesn't get it to fall. Rebound comes down to Sidlecki, who wanted an outlet and said she'll do it herself. Goes all the way in against Rodriguez. And a whistle and a foul with 17 seconds to go. Sidlecki got the rebound, turned to look for an outlet, waited, nobody was there, so decided to do it herself. Didn't get the shot to fall. Lachelle Moreland-Jones at the tail end of all of that got fouled, so she'll go to the free throw line. And too strong on the first. Moreland-Jones just 1 point. has only taken 2 shots so far today. Does have 3 rebounds and 2 assists, as neither one goes for her. Now the Warriors plenty of time with 15 seconds. Try to rush it up the floor. Lockie sidesteps a defender, but draws the foul. Looks like Sidlecki went down. Add insult to injury, she's the one that gets the foul call. That's her second. Clock stops with 10.8 to go in the third. Top side for Andrews, far corner as Alls point blank does not go. Rebound Blue Devils as Abby Ray came away with the basketball and then got tied up and fouled. Third on Mila Alls. Blue Devils will go to the bonus with 3 seconds to go in the third, and that'll put Abby Ray at the free throw line. Ray has not registered a point yet this afternoon and does so there with the free throw. Ray came into today 7 points, 4 rebounds on the season. As the second one does not go, and Summers will not put up a shot before the quarter buzzer. She's content to take the 12-point lead into the fourth quarter of play. And at the end of 3, the Warriors lead at 60-48. Fourth and final quarter coming up on the other side. And a reminder that the men's game will tip off just about 30 minutes after this one wraps up. But again, the fourth quarter on the other side from Garth Pleasant Arena on your home for Warriors basketball. Warriors have led since the opening tip. They took a 28-13 lead after the first quarter. Things evened out in the second, 14 aside. Lawrence Tech comes out and wins the third quarter 21-18, but the Warriors still hold the 60-48 lead in this one. Stephen McDonald here with you on the RC Sports Network. Fourth and final quarter between the Rochester Christian Warriors and Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. Rodriguez working against Linden, goes to the logo for Lockie. Now Summers, extra pass finds Emily Lockie, who goes baseline. Got caught up there, goes to the elbow for Moore. 3 is on the way by Rodriguez. And getting tossed to the floor was Abby Ray. That'll be the second foul on Lockie today. Warriors men's team, couple players have emerged from the tunnel across the way. Underhand flip shot, score it by Reese Williams, as she's had a much better second half than she did in the first. And that'll be a turnover by the Warriors and Shahad Bakar. And now it's just a 10-point game. Still 9:15 to go in the basketball game. Linden will race it into the front court. Passes off for 3. That's off the back of the iron. Bakar the rebound. Has her head up the floor looking for Lockie. And just too far out in front of her. Would have been an easy lay-in had they been able to convert on that pass. Now some more full court pressure being applied by Rochester Christian. Blue Devils able to break it. Williams sees that she has a three. Does not get it to go this time. Offensive rebound fought for and won by Maggie Long. Going in as Robinson. Bakar across midcourt. Hands off Lockey. Lockey bangs into Abby Ray. Finds Rodriguez for three. Rebound Moore. One dribble and scores. Warriors have been able to get to some offensive rebounds so far in this one, as both teams with double-digit offensive rebounds this afternoon. Warriors, though, still have a +3 advantage in rebounding, and at least to this point have won the turnover battle. Still have 27 points off turnovers, do the Warriors. Shahad Bakar almost dribbled it off her foot, was able to hold on to it. Gets it over to Moore. 18 to shoot for the Warriors. Rodriguez on the drive, leaves it for Summers, who uses the square. And now this bounce pass gets away from its intended receiver. It was Moreland Jones. Turn it over on the baseline over to the Warriors with 7.5 to go in the game. Warriors lead is back out to 14 after, for just a moment, it got down to 10. Robinson comes back in. Moreland Jones will sit along with Abby Ray. Rebound was picked out by Reese Williams. Here's Linden, backs it out. Linden still with those 4 points, has only attempted 3 shots today. The sophomore out of Heartland, Michigan, Liv Linden.
Checking in for the Blue Devils, number 3, Ella Hopper. Number 15, Bailey Stevens.
Looks like Stevens and Hoppert will come in for the Blue Devils. It'll be Robinson to trigger on the baseline inbound. And the excellent second half continues for Reese Williams. Williams now with 16. After she was held in check in the first half, has come alive here in the second. That mid-range jumper does not go for Andrews. Push it up the floor for Robinson. And then up and over the head of Ella Hoppert. And now the crowd had to let the Warriors know somebody needed to go get that inbound feed from Andrews. Everybody made their way down floor, so Andrews had nobody there to inbound it to, but they do come and get it. 6:35 to go in the basketball game and a 12-point lead for the Warriors. Shot goes up by Moore. It was high off glass, whistle and a foul. Foul's going to go against Hoppert. Just her first, team's first of this fourth quarter. Looks like Bakar will come in for Rodriguez, and Moore will shoot free throws. Moore today, 10.7 rebounds, and make it 11 with her first free throw. Moore comes into this one just about 10 points and 7 rebounds per game. Had a season-high 17 points in their last game as she doesn't get the second one to fall. Had 17 just a couple days ago in their setback against Madonna. 3 is on the way by Williams. Does not go for her that time. Andrews into the front court. Outside for Summers, who's going to walk in. Goes up, no. And a foul. Looks like that's against Hoppert again. Liv Linden will check in. That is the second on Haupert, so those two will swap in and out. That'll put Summers at the free throw line. Does not get the first. She'll go to 1 for 3 at the line with one more upcoming. Doesn't get either of them to fall. Bakar sends it out to her for 3. Doesn't get the 3 to go either. 65-52 with 6 minutes to go in the game. Outside with it is Bailey Stevens. Going baseline layup goes for Maddox Locke. Here's Bakar, who has 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, and a blocking foul's called on, looks like that's Liv Linden. That'll be her second, team's third. That'll put Bakar at the free throw line for the first time today. Bakar just 2 out of 7 from the floor today. Knocks down the first free throw. Warriors now 6 out of 10 and make it 7 of 11 at the free throw line today. So Bakar hits both. 67-54 is our score with 5:33 to go. Coach Ocampo calls time. Warriors have shot at 45% in this contest overall. Shot at just north of 53% back in the first half of play. They've shot at 50% from 3 for the game, 6 out of 12. Lawrence Tech, 20 turnovers in this one, leading to 28 points off turnovers for the Warriors. Warriors with 14 steals in this basketball game. J.C. Summers has a team-high 13 points and 8 rebounds. Simone Andrews and Ashley Loon each have 12 points. Melanie Moore has 11 and 7 rebounds, also has 4 assists as well. So Moore and Summers both eyeing double-doubles here, still have 5.5 minutes to try and snag a few more rebounds. On the other side, Reese Williams has been a spark for the Blue Devils here in the second half. She now has 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Liv Sidlecki has 9 points, 4 boards, and 2 assists. But as we make our way out of the timeout called by the Warriors, both sides will have 2 timeouts remaining for the final 5.5 minutes. 67-54 is our score. Bounce pass finds its way to Linden. She'll work against Bakar. Draws a double team now with Moore. Floated inside all alone is Jacobs for 2. And that's the risk that you run if you're the Warriors playing that half-court trap game, is that you leave a player like Kate Jacobs wide open underneath the hoop. They'll send it back outside for Loon. Reset it with Simone Andrews. Galloping in goes Summers, tosses it back outside, nearly stolen. Andrews stops, fires, it does not go. Offensive rebound, Moore. And a foul on the floor. We'll see who they give it to. There was a couple Blue Devils there. And it looks like they'll give it to Jacobs. Just her first. Team's fourth. Jacobs will check out. Sidlecki comes in. Moore bobbled it, got it away to Andrews. High off glass, doesn't go. Tie up for the rebound between Moore and Sidlecki. And they'll get Moore with her fourth. Warriors looking for their second win of the conference schedule. Three is on the way by Williams, does not go for her. Offensive rebound came down into the hands of, looked like, Sidlecki. Lay-in try for Stevens, no good.
Number 10, Shahab Bakar, her second, team third. With number 15, Bailey Stevens at the line.
That'll put Stevens at the free throw line. First one falls. First time at the free throw line today for Bailey Stevens. Back to a 10-point game and make it 9 with the second free throw. Warriors have to be careful here. Still 4:10 to go in the game. Loon forcing the issue, gets all the way down to the baseline, wraps it back around into the corner. Still has it, finds a cutting Shahad Bakar. Defender goes down. Shot try doesn't go through. And again, now with just inside 4 minutes to go and a 9-point basketball game, this could get interesting down the stretch as the lay-in falls by Bailey Stevens. Just ran right by J.C. Summers there. Warriors have led this entire game, but the Blue Devils making them have to earn it in the final few minutes. Loon wants a three, runs it off the rim. That was too strong as Moore was there for an offensive rebound, but just went right up over her head. 3:15 to go in the game, 7-point lead for the Warriors. Skip it outside for Stevens. Stevens for three. Offensive rebound comes down to Locke. Player down, looks like Liv Linden. We play on, and the three is through.
The three, the number 15, is Bailey Stevens. And we have an injury.
Stevens knocks down the three, 67-63. With 2:59 to go, they'll check on Liv Linden, who stays down. For Stevens now, that's 7 points. That was her first three of the game, just her third attempt from three today. 7 points, 2 rebounds for her as they do get Liv Linden back to her feet. Looks like she'll walk off on her own. That's a good sign as she stayed down. Over to the scores table goes Maggie Long. Long will check in with just 3 points on the afternoon, 1 out of 4 from the floor. But the Blue Devils, with 2:59 to go, are back in this basketball game again. Going back to the first quarter, 28-13, Warriors led after one. It was 42-27 at the break. But the Blue Devils have shown a lot of fight here in the second half as they send it into the corner for Summers. She'll back it out for Simone Andrews. 15 on the possession, 2:43 to go in the basketball game. Andrews looks like she's in no rush here as Summers spots up for three off the heel. Actually hit off the top of the backboard before it came down. Now off and running as Stevens goes cross court. Williams for three. That's short. Offensive rebound. Lay-in goes for Maddox Locke. And a timeout called after the lay-in, believed by Lawrence Tech. 2:21 to go in the basketball game, and it's now a 2-point game The Warriors clinging to a one-possession lead. We will step aside for a moment, come back for the final 2:21 from Garth Pleasant Arena on the RC Sports Network.
The value of champions character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
Warriors led it by 15 at the break, 42-27. Lawrence Tech outscored them 21-18 in the third and have now outscored them here in the fourth, 17-7. And they have clawed their way back into this one with 2:21 to go. It's 67-65. The timeout was called by Lawrence Tech after that last basket. The Warriors will have it as we come back from the timeout. Possession arrow right now favors Lawrence Tech, so keep an eye on that for the final 2 minutes. As they get it to Loon, entry pass goes to Moore. Through traffic, doesn't get the shot to fall, and now the Blue Devils can tie or take the lead on this possession. They want the lead here. That three's too strong. Offensive rebound, Sidlecki, and she'll set it up with Bailey Stevens. Stevens hit a three a moment ago when Liv Linden went down. Sidlecki walks in and scores, and we're tied at 67. How about it? Down 15 at the half. The Blue Devils have tied it with 90 seconds to go in regulation. Simone Andrews handles the basketball. She'll go all the way in baseline, floats it up, no. Rebound Williams. Walking it into the front court comes Stevens. She works on Ashley Loon, a couple 15s going at it. Long hesitates, drives, and draws the foul on Moore. That'll be her fifth. That'll put Long at the free throw line for the first time today. Has just 3 points on 1 of 5 shooting. A player that coming into this one averaged 8 points per game and had a season high 20 in their matchup with Rio Grande. Also mentioned at the half, one of the better three-point shooters for this Blue Devils team. Her first free throw does not fall. Again, the first time today that Long is at the free throw line and in a very big spot. Tied at 67 with 1:04 remaining. Her second free throw does fall, and for the first time today, with 1:04 remaining, the Blue Devils have their first lead of the ball game as Shahad Bakar bounces it in for Williams, who scores. Well, the Blue Devils had the lead, but only for 9 seconds. Williams reclaims it in favor of the Warriors. 69-68, quick timeout called by Rochester Christian and head coach Jared Ocampo. We will stick with it, though, here inside of Garth Pleasant Arena. J.C. Summers, 13 points, 8 rebounds. Andrews, 12 points. Ashley Loon has 12. And Melanie Moore, 11 and 7 rebounds, although likely will not see her for the remainder with those 5 fouls unless we go to overtime. On the other side, Reese Williams has had one heck of a second half. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists overall on 7 of 16 shooting. Liv Sidlecki with 11 points and 7 rebounds. And again, Liv Linden did go down just a couple minutes ago. Got knocked down to the floor. Bailey Stevens at the end of that play did knock down a three, but have not seen Liv Linden since she went down on that play. So here we go, 55 seconds to go in the basketball game. Warriors lead it by 1 after the Blue Devils got the lead, their lone lead of the basketball game, and they only had it for about 9 seconds before the layup by Tambry Williams gave the lead back to Rochester Christian. Sidestepping into a three, that's off the heel by Maggie Long. Rebound tracked down, but traveling with it was Simone Andrews over in that far right corner. That'll give the basketball back to Lawrence Tech with 33.6 seconds remaining, so they can take this thing almost all the way down and try to win it here. It'll be a baseline inbound as Ray, left all alone, can't get the shot to fall. Warriors get away with one there. And Shahad Bakar gets grabbed and fouled with 27.6 seconds remaining. My goodness, Abby Ray got that feed, turned baseline, and both defenders actually vacated, left her all alone for the lay-in. Shahad Bakar, couple of massive free throws here. Easy work, knocks home the first. Second free throw to make it a 3-point game. Deep breath, and knocks it home. And how about that sequence? Missed lay-in by Abby Ray would have given the Blue Devils the lead. Shahad Bakar gets fouled after the miss. She knocks down both free throws. It's a 3-point game. And the Warriors are now in the bonus, so it'll be free throws for the final 27 seconds for them. But again, have to love the effort by Lawrence Tech in this second half, down 15 at the half, have come back and made this a basketball game, as the Warriors have led for about 99% of this game. Blue Devils were able to grab the lead for only about 8 or 9 seconds just a few moments ago, and then Tambry Williams snatched it right back from them. But again, 27.6 seconds remaining, Warriors by 3. The Blue Devils do have the possession arrow here, so keep that in mind as we play this thing out. And now both teams, the Warriors and Blue Devils men's teams, have now made their way into the tunnels here inside of Garth Pleasant Arena. They're awaiting the final buzzer in this one before they begin warm-ups for their game, which will take place just about 30 minutes or so from now. And we'll have that for you here on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. It'll be Maddox Locke to toss it in. Simone Andrews will pressure the inbound. 3-point basketball game. Bailey Stevens will drive in, send it outside, wide open three for Ray, knocks it down. My goodness, she makes up for the missed lay-in just a moment ago that would have given her team the lead. Instead, says they'll have to settle for a tie as she knocks down the three, 71 all with 18 seconds to go. For Ray, that is her first field goal of the game, 1 out of 7 from the floor, 1 out of 2 from the outside, gives her 4 points and 6 rebounds. And what a time to get that first field goal. But again, keep in mind, Warriors in the bonus here as they put a couple seconds back up on the clock, now 19.2 seconds to go. So they put about 1 second back on. But if the Warriors want to be aggressive here, try to get downhill to the rim, draw a foul, it would mean free throws as they're in the bonus. So we'll see how aggressive they want to play this. But obviously the major factor here, the shot clock is irrelevant. 19 seconds to go, so they can play for one here. Just have to make sure they take care of the basketball. They do have 17 turnovers in this one. Summers has 13. Andrews and Loon each have 12. Loon will toss it in for Shahad Bakar. Bakar tosses it out for Summers. That pass nearly intercepted. Shahad Bakar hangs onto it. Underhand flip does not go. Lawrence Tech can win it in transition here. Going all the way in, throw the shot up, no. Summers, one more pass up the floor, and that's tapped out of bounds. Officials said the quarter has ended, and we will go to overtime, tied at 71, as the Blue Devils erase a 15-point halftime deficit to send us to overtime. They win the fourth quarter, 23-11. Blue Devils nearly had a chance to win it at the buzzer, come up empty, and we will play 5 more minutes from Garth Pleasant Arena, but we will take a quick timeout on the RC Sports Network. Four quarters not enough to decide a winner in this matchup between the Rochester Christian Warriors and the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. Overtime tip is up and controlled by Reese Williams, who has a game-high 18. Stepping back with it is Bailey Stevens. Shahad Bakar on her defensively. And stepping on the sideline was Maggie Long. So a turnover to begin overtime by Lawrence Tech. Warriors with their first crack at it in the extra period. Pass comes this side for Summers. Summers has 13. Goes up. Wild shot does not go off the side of the backboard. Tapped out of bounds and will go the other direction. Warriors came into this one 2-8 on the season, 1-3 in conference play as Loon intercepts that pass, scoop, and score! Counted and a foul! First basket of overtime goes to Ashley Loon, and she'll get one more for her efforts. And she knocks it down. Mentioned the Warriors before that basket by Loon come in 2-8 on the year, 2-10 on the other side for Lawrence Tech. So a win here today would be a big boost for either one of these teams. Kick it into the corner looking for Long. Long wants a three. One hop off the rim, rebound down to Tambry Williams. On the go is Simone Andrews going all the way in and gets whacked and fouled on the layup try. Clock stops with 3:53 to go in overtime. And here we go, Liv Linden does come back into the ball game, went down late in the fourth quarter with an injury, makes her way back in. Andrews at the free throw line, does get the first one to fall. Warriors lead it by 4. One more coming for Andrews at the line as Coach Ocampo barks out some instruction from the side as she knocks down both. Try to break the trap, and they do. Now a 3-on-2 opportunity finds Williams for three. Book it! Now the pass by Andrews looking for Williams, intercepted by Sidlecki. Sidlecki gives it off, straightaway three, too strong by Bailey Stevens. Offensive rebound, Sidlecki for two. And just like that, tied back up, this time at 76. After the quick 5-0 run by the Blue Devils, Bakar goes all the way in, too strong on the lay-in try, battle for it on the floor. And the possession arrow to the Warriors. 3:10 to go in overtime, 76 all. Baseline inbound for Ashley Loon. She's out there with Andrews, Bakar, Summers, and Williams. She'll toss it in for Bakar. Now to Loon. Loon does have a team high 15, instead gives it off to Andrews. Andrews off a screen, back to Loon. Loon spirals, hangs, and it won't go. Caught the inside lip of the rim and hopped out. Liv Linden into the front court. Back into the game now, has 4 points and 4 assists. Had her pass tipped and stolen. Loon went down to the floor. They'll call a travel before she gave it up. The crowd does not like the call. Slid down to her backside, tried to pass it off, and the official called her for a travel. Did look like she tried to sit herself up upright before making that pass, and that's where the official got the travel in. Just can't let yourself go upright there. Needed to make that pass more from her back, it looked like. Still 76 all, 2:23 to go in overtime. Williams has it, gives it off. Sidlecki walks in, has it blocked by Summers into the hands of Williams. Big time stop by J.C. Summers. Now Williams goes up and gets fouled. Looks like they're going to get Reese Williams on the foul of Tambry Williams. Clock stops with 2:09 to go in a tie ball game here in overtime. And again, both Blue Devils and Warriors men's teams looking on. Williams does not get the first free throw. And she does get the second. So the Warriors get the lead, but only by 1. This pass tipped by Loon, stolen by Andrews. Williams goes up through a crowd, does not fall, but they'll say last touch by Lawrence Tech as Abby Ray quickly runs over to the scorer's table and will check in for Liv Sidlecki. 2:02 to go in the game. Warriors basketball up by 1. Both teams do have a timeout remaining as Shahad Bakar will trigger the inbound. Does get it into Summers. Summers working on Linden. Cross-court skip. Bakar for three. Give me that! Shahad Bakar makes it a 4-point basketball game. Warriors picking up some full-court pressure. Abby Ray picked up the dribble. Liv Linden does just get it across the timeline with about 2 seconds to spare, but they only have 13 now to shoot as they give it off to Linden. She'll back it out, try to reset it with 7. Walks in on Andrews. Corner pocket three does not go for Maddox Locke. Battle for it in the corner. And it goes out of bounds to the Warriors. Maggie Long comes in for Linden. 1:18 to go. 4-point basketball game. Warriors with the lead in the ball. Shahad Bakar dribbled it off her foot. In pursuit of it is Bailey Stevens. Goes in, layup, doesn't go. Halfway down, it pops out. Battle for it on the floor. Possession arrow stays here. Stevens missed the lay-in as Tambry Williams went flying by, and that threw off a little bit of the timing. Instead, Ray wants a three, doesn't get it to fall. Rebound comes all the way out to Summers. And now Rochester Christian can settle it down in the front court, holding on to a 4-point lead in the ball. They do also get the possession arrow now as it just switched sides after that last tie-up. So Simone Andrews waits till there's about 10 seconds. Baseline jump shot does not go. Tambry Williams taps it out. And it'll go back over to the Blue Devils, who will use their final timeout with 32 seconds remaining as they trail it by 4. And again, stick around because we've got more action coming your way on the RC Sports Network. The men's game between the Warriors and the Blue Devils will tip off just about 30 minutes after this one wraps up. But what an excellent game it has been. Warriors led it by 15 at the break. They got outscored 23-11 in the fourth quarter to send us to overtime, but they've so far to this point won overtime 9-5 and hold the 80-76 lead. Looking for what would be their second win of the conference schedule. They come in, Rochester Christian does 1-3 in the conference. Their lone win came here just a couple weeks ago against Lourdes. So it'll be a sideline inbound for Maddox Locke. Gets it into Abby Ray, gets it right back from her. Into the corner for three, one hop off the rim, rebound to Loon. And then looks like a whistle and a foul as they got it up the floor. Ashley Loon will go to the free throw line, try to put this game out of reach. Only has one free throw attempt today. She did knock it down. Her second one is up and through. Second one is up and puts it through. And those are two big free throws. Makes it a 6-point game with 17 seconds and counting. Blue Devils have to hurry. Throw up the shot, doesn't go. Tapped out of bounds and will stay here with 10.1. Loon hit both free throws, now has 17 points. Toss it in for Abby Ray, hands it off, corner pocket three. Almost got wedged in the backboard. Turn and gun does not go for her either. She'll try one more time from the outside, and that is how our game will end. The Warriors hang on After the Blue Devils erased a 15-point deficit, Rochester Christian will take this one 82-76 in overtime as they improve to 2-3 in conference play. Lawrence Tech, meanwhile, will drop to 0-6 in WAC play. Some final stats in this one before we sign off, and a reminder, the men's game will take place just about 30 minutes from now around 3:30 Eastern time. But some final stats in this one, Ashley Loon puts this one on ice with a pair of free throws, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist for her. Simone Andrews, 14 points. JC Summers does get a double-double, 13 points and 10 rebounds in the win. On the other side for Lawrence Tech, Reese Williams, a valiant effort here in the second half, finished with 21 points and 5 rebounds. Liv Sidlecki, 13 points and 8 rebounds, but not enough as they go to 0-6 in conference play here in 2024. And for SID Hussein Murray, my name's Stephen MacDonald saying so long from Garth Pleasant Arena, where our final score one final time is the Warriors 82 and Lawrence Tech Blue Devils 76. This has been a presentation of the RC Sports Network.